Some of the worst advice you've ever received came gift wrapped in the best of intentions, and you're probably still following it. Today, I want to talk about some life advice that you've probably heard many times from different people that you trust. It sounds smart, it feels safe, but it's likely keeping you stuck, and I'm going to tell you what to do instead. I have coached so many people who want to break barriers, do something different, and show up in the world to make an impact. But they're following the same advice, replaying in their mind that they've heard from people who haven't towed the line the way they want to. You don't have to be dangerous to make a difference, but you won't expand if you play it safe. The first one might surprise you, and that's don't keep up with the Joneses. If you've heard that phrase before, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, it's the idea that we used to only know who to compete with because they were our neighbors next door. So the Joneses were these people who lived next door. If they had a nicer car, or their landscaping was better, or their kid was going to a better college, it was thought of to be keeping up with the Joneses. But now that we live in this world where everyone is our neighbor, it can be interpreted as such for anyone. And so you see people who are doing amazing, or making a lot of money, or building a personal brand, maybe in a similar area that you are, and it makes you feel a little bit incomplete, a little bit jealous, a little bit less than. So the advice is don't keep up with the Joneses because it doesn't make you feel good. But my worry here is if you hear don't keep up with the Joneses or don't compete with anyone else, that you'll interpret that as you should only be around people who make you feel comfortable. That's some of the worst advice you could ever get. What's not okay is trying to keep up with people for the sake of keeping up. What is okay is for you to be around people who make you better than where you are at this moment. If you say, I'm not gonna hang out with rich people or fancy people because I don't wanna do anything that would stretch me too much. I don't wanna have to spend more money to be around people. I don't wanna have to be a different person to be around those people. You're getting the wrong idea. Because meanwhile, while you're making a very big intention to not spend time with people who've figured a few things out, you don't have to take their entire playbook on life, but you can follow a couple of good tips. You've decided to choose people who don't have it figured out at all. And so you surround yourself with those who by default are your environment, your circumstance. They don't make any money, they're not getting into college, they're not even trying to work that hard. They're actually trying to convince you everyone's working too hard. We should just have fun. We should just relax. Both can still be true. You don't have to overwork yourself to the point of no return, unhealthy and stressed, but you also shouldn't relax so much that you have no idea what your intention is, what your purpose is. And being around the Joneses might offer you a new perspective. Don't try to have their car just so you can show up having their car. Find out why they have their car. Is it for the right reasons? And did they get it the right way? And what can we learn about that so we can take the same idea, the same process, and apply it in a way that's actually in alignment with who we're becoming? The next one, it's a good one. You can be anything if you want to. It sounds fabulous. It sounds empowering. It sounds like, my mom used to tell me that. That sounds so good and it's made me a better person. But some people take it and they get the wrong idea. You can be anything, not the same as you can be anyone. When you can be anything, you look for what has already worked out there and you're like, I have to be a lawyer. I could be a lawyer. That's what I did. I thought, I'm gonna be a lawyer. I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna go to law school. I'm gonna be a lawyer. I can be anything. And what I know is that becoming a lawyer would definitely solve my life problems. So here we go. Not a great conclusion to come to, not well thought out, just an over-categorization of how we're just supposed to get through life. But you can be anyone is a completely different conversation because now all of the things that you do, all of the achievements that you go after, and all of the characteristics of who you are as you, they can all be one. They can represent something really powerful. Instead of trying to conform to what already exists, anything, let's become who we are extraordinarily and uniquely. The interesting thing is when I talk to people in business about this, they want to become anything, and so they do everything. They're like, I want to make more money, so we're going to have this offer, we'll do this product, we're going to sell online services, we're going to get a sponsor, we're going to have affiliates, and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, oh my gosh, wow. So you made a couple bucks here, nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, and so you're mediocre across the board. Let's not do that. That's not mastery. That's not what we're talking about around here. Choose one thing and become extraordinary at it. This is what's awesome about it. It's not your whole story. It's one thing, one skill, one personality trait, one anything in the journey of becoming who you are that makes you different. But it's not going to make you different if it's just a jack of all trades situation where you never really own it. Every single one of my clients that works with me knows that I'm gonna tell them this because they love to come and they just be like, I got some ideas, I got some opportunities. And I'm just like, what's the one thing? What is your one thing that when somebody comes and asks me who the best at the best is, I'm gonna say you. But everyone's so busy picking up pennies as they step over the quarters that we're trying to get their attention all the time. Focus stands for follow one course until successful. When you've figured out what success looks like, to the point where you could actually explain what it is you do to somebody, which a lot of us struggle with because we're trying to do everything, that's how you know you've really started to unpack how you make a difference. So go out there and become anyone that can only be described by your name, not anything and everything all the time. Oh, I love this one. I love this one. Fake it till you make it. It sounds terrible to some people. It's actually so divisive, this phrase. It sounds like terrible. Some people are completely against it. And then there are other people who are like, I am here for it. I need to fake it until I make it because I do not have confidence on my side. The subtle adjustment, because I'm actually pro fake it till you make it. If it works for you, then it works for you. I'm here for anything that works for you. If you're completely against it, don't use it. But if you're here for it, then I'm here for it. But the subtlety is that I don't like the word fake because I think that's also telling yourself a story that you're not really it. When in reality, you are it. You're just at an earlier point in the story than where you see yourself. But that is exactly where you want to be. Where you see yourself does not need to be what this exact moment looks like. People love to talk about reality, like the reality of where I am right now. And that's why you have to fake it, right? Because you know what reality is. If we sit in reality, we can't expand to where we're headed because we keep our focus too close to what the immediate details and tangibles are. Everything is energy. If you want this energy, cool. But I want this energy, and meanwhile, I'm also standing in a completely different place. I see for myself completely differently than what my reality is at this time because I know my life is changing constantly and seasons continue to evolve. So I'm not faking anything. I know that for sure. But I don't have to fake it till I make it because I'm making it right now, whether anyone else is giving me that outside validation or not. The key to all of it is not, let me prove to you what I'm doing and that I'm putting in the work and that I'm not actually faking it. This is for you. Don't let anyone tell you where you are right now, where you're headed, and whether or not it's good enough. People who have copious amounts of time to offer you that opinion should probably be working on something else. You don't have to tell them that. You don't have to be like, I'm better than you. This is all about sitting in your truth of where you're going. No one needs to understand except for you. We've talked about this before. Most of us will be nice and quiet. Nice and quiet means, oh yeah, it's not really working yet, but like, it's okay. It'll happen someday and I'm trying. No, we're not making it easy on everyone. We're kind and confident. We're confident that every single thing we do at every moment is contributing to the cause and it's working. We're kind because we're humble. We're never too good. We're never measuring against anyone else because the only person that matters to measure against is ourselves yesterday. So we can be kind and confident no matter what somebody has to say to you about what you're doing. You don't need to fake confidence. Every single time you do something, you pick up a little bit more. You can borrow confidence. That's why you watch this YouTube channel. That's why people hire me. That's why you read a book. Find some confidence and borrow it. You don't have to fake it. You just have to sustain getting to the next step. This is a good one. It's become very controversial. It used to be so happening. When I first became a business owner, this was a happening phrase, and now people are so against it. I didn't even know that there was like this huge audience of people against this phrase, but the hustle, right? And if you're to say, oh, I'm struggling, I'm trying, it's not working, and somebody's gonna go, well, you need to hustle, you need to try harder, you need to hustle up. That's not usually the answer. I mean, at the end of the day, are you doing the work or aren't you doing the work? But a lot of us are very much doing the work, we're just doing the wrong work. We're working hard, we're working way too hard. We've got things on our plate that don't need to be there. It's not about you need to hustle harder. It's that you need to be so in the faith, so in alignment, so sure of where you're going and that that's exactly where you deserve to be, that you agree to focus on only the things that matter. Sometimes it takes some experience to figure out what matters. And that means you have to measure your own success. You go, oh my gosh, that worked. Oh my gosh, that worked. If something's starting to work, don't overlook it just because you're like, oh, I got 1,000 views on a video, but the rest of the world is getting 1 million. But did it work? Like if you couldn't look at what everybody else had going on, would you agree that 1,000 people in a room would be a lot? So did you have 1,000 people paying attention? It could happen. It could happen to anyone. Anyone. You don't have to have subscribers or followers. It could happen to anyone right now. Don't worry about everybody else. But when you see you've done something that works, are you watching it? Are you seeing that it worked and continuing to repeat your success so you actually follow a pattern which develops a plan? When you start to figure out those things that work really well, your focus will be helped by giving yourself an environment to do so. Hanging out with your phone, if it doesn't make sense, is not a good idea. So use calendar blocking to mark off the time where you need to do the things that actually matter. If it's sending emails to certain types of people to make ground with them, if it's to make content for your social media, if it's just to sit down and study, you have to do those things in a focused environment. And the best way to hold yourself accountable from a time standpoint is to block it out and say nothing. Non-negotiable, nothing interrupts that moment for me. Early in my career, when I first left my full-time job and started in the full-time entrepreneurial role of a founder, I knew I needed to market myself, but I also knew I had clients I needed to deliver for. And the lines were very blurry because all of it was on the internet. So it's just like, I need to do this and this and this and this and this and this. The way I did it was I blocked out all of my time on Mondays for my business, specifically for marketing. Because the only thing that mattered at the beginning of the business was marketing, for people finding out of who I was. So on Mondays, there was a batch of tasks that got done. And that batch was videos for the week. I uploaded a new video every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday on this channel for 3 years straight. Savvy Tuesday, Sexy Wednesday, and Social Thursday, if you remember. If you were here then, put a triple S down there because we will be besties. That's a long time ago. Mondays, I set up the camera. I recorded all 3 of those videos, got them edited, and scheduled for the rest of the week. So there was consistency in how I showed up, but then I was able to actually use those work hours the rest of the week to deliver for my clients. That's a great example of focus and time batching so that it gets done in the best way, quickly, and with your undivided attention in peak state, filming Monday, so that you can then do whatever you gotta do to sustain the business the rest of the time. By the way, please subscribe to this channel if you notice that you are not. I show up on the home pages for a lot of you. Bless your hearts, you've told the algorithm that you love me. But if you're not subscribed, please make that intention to do that so that you don't miss an episode. Next up, always be positive. This sounds so good. And I hate to say it's wrong, but it is. It's wrong. You don't need to always be positive. If something is not right, you don't have to be positive all the way through it and hope for the best. You can be very objective, and you can also be stoic in the sense that not every single thing deserves your negative energy and negative emotions. You don't have to pretend to be positive through it at all. What you need to be is clear. You need to have clarity so you notice the difference between fires. I'll give you an example. There's something called a dumpster fire. We love to use that phrase, right? Oh my gosh, what a dumpster fire. The dumpster fire, it's scary, right? It's a fire. But if you just assess it that far, then you're really not being analytical of the situation. Because let me tell you something, there's a dumpster fire. But what if it was a kitchen fire? A kitchen fire is way worse, okay? You live in the house where the kitchen is. So if the kitchen's on fire, we got problems. We got big problems because it's gonna expand. It's gonna keep going. And sadly, I have a little bit of experience with this. I talked about it in my newsletter, the role model ones. You should probably check it out. A dumpster fire will go out. Most of the time, it will be self-contained. The fire will take out everything in the dumpster. It'll probably take out the dumpster itself, depending on the situation. But that'll be it. And we have a lot of dumpster fires in our life. They happen, they're inconvenient, they're attention grabbing, but they're not a kitchen fire. Can you see something that's happening, like a screaming 4-year-old having a tantrum, and be able to say, that's not a kitchen fire. It doesn't deserve for me to be completely out of alignment to handle. I can stay strong in that. I don't have to be positive and pretend like it's okay, but I can be clear on the fact that it will pass and everyone's gonna be fine. Get better at identifying what different situations do to your emotions and what actually merits certain levels of response. Now, here's one more thing on this. If you notice you are having negative emotions, but you're also like, these just are a lot of dumpster fires and they're quite annoying, so I should just ignore my emotions, that's not good either. Because you could start a kitchen fire because you'll get confused by the dumpster fires that are grabbing your attention all the time. So when you have this consistent level of negativity in your own mind that you need to deal with, you need to pay attention to it. Whether you have to journal, talk it out with somebody, negative emotions are telling you that you're at the wrong end and that there's another side to this. If you like it better, you can go there. But if you never identify where the negativity is coming from and why you feel that way, it can be very hard to navigate your way there and everything starts to catch up. Notice the negativity, however you need to. Track it. Make a mental note. There it goes again. There it goes again. Same thing, same thing, same thing. Don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. We have to stop telling ourselves that these things are circumstances we cannot change and decide that if we really recognize what they are at their core, we have the power to do whatever we want about it. And finally, my favorite, wait until you're ready. I need you to hear this loud and clear because there's probably something I hear this all the time. People who are like, I want to coach with you, but I'm not ready yet. Or I'm going to start my own business, but I'm not ready yet. I'm going to post my first video, but I'm not ready yet. Ready is not a feeling. Ready is a decision. It's up to you to make that decision. That is part of the reason why I talk about decision making in a morning routine manual. Because you want to be ready for your mornings, but it's a decision. Deciding to start the day on your terms, deciding you want better and so you're at least going to master that first hour of your life, deciding that you don't want your life to look the same all the time, deciding that you are getting better every single day and you're going to take actions to show that. That's all decision. So I want you to tell me what you have been saying, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. Because if that's the only reason, there's nothing else, today's your day to make that decision. Make the decision. And guess what? If you're not ready yet because the decision is no, be confident in how you feel about that. Be confident that that's the direction we're going and that you know it's not it. Just make the decision. That's the life advice I think is totally bogus and what you should do instead. But if you still need help figuring out what you actually want and you're not afraid to get a little unrealistic, Click here and I'll see you there.